host Dani, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, fills up your day. Good morning, Frederick, rise and shine. City so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it. Good morning, Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your host Dani, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, fills up your day. Good morning, Frederick, rise and shine. A city so light.
Good morning, Frederick. Rise and shine. I do have a smile on my face today, even though it's kind of yucky outside, but we needed the rain, of course. Today is Thursday, August 8th, show number 92. I'm your host, Dani Gurry. Thank you to everybody who stopped by the home of Everything Frederick last evening for cocktails and conversations. I still say it's one of the best networking events because it's low-key, relaxed, and people you don't typically see out at all the other networking events. I always have great conversations that aren't rushed. Last night was no different, and I met one person I never even knew before and got to chat with a few others that I knew but not so well. So, mark your calendars. First Wednesday evening of every month, we meet from 5 to 7 at 401 North Market Street. And I want to thank the people who brought, we have beverages or whatever, but one of the gentlemen brought some donuts, and I walked out with a red, white, and blue Krispy Kreme, which I needed the sugar rush last evening after a long day. Before heading to She Pitch, which was fantastic, although I could only stay for part of it. The 100th show is coming up. It is August 20th, and I've created a survey to get feedback about Good Morning Frederick. Please fill it out. I'm happy. I can take the criticism. I can take the constructive suggestions. I will work to do whatever I can to try to make this show what you want to see, because it's all about you. Now, to fill out the survey, just go to the Good Morning Frederick Facebook page. You'll see it. It's pinned right to the top of that page, and I'd love for you to have your say on what you'd like Good Morning Frederick to be. And I really appreciate everybody who has taken care of that so far. Also, subscribe, please, to YouTube and join 652 other subscribers. I'm so excited. We're well on our way to 1,000 by September. So we have like 4 weeks to get, let's see, what do we need? 348. 348 more people, that's it. Every single one of you, just ask one person. My gosh, we'll smash that, and we will be 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer, which I love. Merch, you want to pick some up? You can go to 401 North Market Street and pick up a travel mug, t-shirt, hat, sticker, or magnet. Every time you purchase Good Morning Frederick swag, I use the proceeds to donate to local causes. And that's how I fund that, which is my husband's very happy about. All right, on today's show, I have a great conversation with County Executive Jessica Fitzwater. And I find out some things I never knew about her. Kevin from Spark Tax Services will give you 3 things businesses need to do right now to make the most of tax opportunities. And yes, taxes stink, but you want to take advantage of everything that is out there for you. And he's got some great suggestions for that. And Chris Jenkins, the GM of the Flying Cows, will be here live to talk about how nonprofits can apply to be one of the 12 charities that the Cows support this year. Chris Michaels will join me from WFMD's Morning News Express to talk local news, weather, and sports. Plus, as always, I have all the events for you from the greatest calendar in the land. I don't know. I gave it that title, but I think it sounds wonderful. And I've got some giveaways for you. A new one as well, if you'd like to go to Troy Fest, which we're going to talk about soon. All right, let's get this Thursday going. We have to thank our show sponsor. Good Morning Frederick would not be here without our great sponsors and advertisers and supporters. So that's you guys, the viewers, and them to keep this stuff going. We help you move. Whether you're moving across the street or somewhere around the country, Nicholas and his team of moving experts can make that process easier. Nothing is simple about moving, I know, for sure. But, even if you're moving offices, maybe you're consolidating or, taking stuff back home or moving back from home back to the office, which a lot of people are doing. Give Nick at We Help You Move a call and he will help you out. He is a huge supporter of the Frederick community, and We Help You Move is veteran owned, which we always love to support that as well. WeHelpYouMove.com. They're on the web, and of course you can give them a call. You can talk to my friend Michelle there. She'll help you as well. All right, let's talk about what we have to give away. All right, so I've got the 2 tickets to Climbing for a Cause, which is next Saturday, August 17th. If you want to go to that event, these tickets are only good for that event. So if you text CAUSE to 888-465-2944. Again, that's 888-465-2944. Go ahead and text and you can come to that event. It's going to be a great day at Tree Trekkers. Maryland Lottery, every week we give away 5 tickets, 5 scratch-offs for the Maryland Lottery. And you're going to want to text MDL. And if you want more information about all the games, go to MarylandMDLottery.com. They have tons of new games, including we played the Pop one recently. I think I won $5, which is great. And I love the little kiosks. You can play the kiosks, you can get your tickets at the kiosks at Walmart and grocery stores, Sheetz. Not only can you do that, you can redeem your tickets as well, which is very convenient. You can take your time. You don't feel stressed too much about somebody standing in line behind you. But you want to play responsibly, of course. MDLottery.com. And then we've got the Tree Trekkers 3-hour adventure ticket that you can go anytime during the season, any day that they're open. And you can win 4 tickets to any game at the Frederick Keys. You're going to want to text Keys for those, and that's regular season games. I think they play through Labor Day, regular season. And Tree for the Tree Trekkers, MDL for Maryland Lottery. What do we got for Troy Fest? We've got Fest, right? Yeah, Fest. For Troy Fest tickets, and Cause for Climbing for a Cause. So text those, and then I will be awarding those, well, pretty much actually today. If you text Keys right now, if you want 4 tickets to the Frederick Keys, I'll give them to you. And if you want to go to Climbing for a Cause, text Cause, and I'll pretty much give everybody who texts today tickets to Climbing for a Cause. How about that? It's Thursday, and it's a yucky day out, so want to make it good. All right, I heard Chris just pop in, so let's start with WFMD's Morning News Express. Flying solo today is Chris Michaels. Good morning.
You gave me a bad setup for my news today. You said that today's yucky, Then we have my bad news coming up after you say it's yucky outside. I mean, you set me up for failure already. I didn't even start.
It's the not so terrible news, not so terrible weather report, not so terrible Chris Michaels. How about that?
I like not so terrible Chris Michaels. I'll take it. Yes, compared to some of the stuff that we sometimes hear when you're in the public eye or some of the text we get, I'll take not so terrible Chris
Yeah.
Michaels.
Yeah.
I just gotta let you know I did mention you on air today. Per our conversation yesterday of me being scared to death of heights, I read on air the top 6 most deadliest jobs in the country.
Okay.
And yes, and 2 of those jobs were heights. I think number 5 or 4 was airplane pilot, heights.
Okay.
And number 1 was hot air balloon operator, of the most deadliest jobs. Okay, I'm kidding about that. That is not true.
I know.
Number 2, though, was roofer, which again is heights.
Yes.
So this is
yeah.
why I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah. The roofing thing, here's the thing for me. If I don't feel secure in a situation, like if I'm not strapped to something, I admit it gives me, my stomach does the little flutters. Even when I went up in the CN Tower in Canada and, you stand on those glass floors and stuff, it takes me a minute. I got to tell my brain it's okay, we're safe.
So I went, oh boy, I'm going to get made fun of this. But you know what? Just because I love you, Dani, I love doing your show, I'll admit this. So me and my wife, we took our kids and my father to Chicago the year before COVID. And we went to it's not called the Sears Tower anymore. I forget what it's called now. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have the one where there's glass bottoms.
Yeah.
And you walk out and you look down. Picture this. I'm 6 foot, big dude, 250 pounds, trying to impress my wife. Don't worry, baby, I'm fine. I'll do it, no problem. And I look down, I get very dizzy, and I have to fall into my 5'1" wife's arms. Yes, it was a heck of a sight. Luckily, from all those years of lifting up our kids, my wife is strong enough to have held me. So yeah, and here we go. Just continued embarrassment. Thank goodness Bob's not on here to hear this. I will never hear the end of it if that was.
Yeah, I know. You got it. It's mind over matter. But I get it. It's all good.
You did say, all joking aside, it is a yucky day out there. It is rainy. So please, and I say this on the air all the time, as does Bob. If you're going out and about, please, I'm begging you, be careful out there. Okay, the roads are rough. Diana Gibson does our traffic report. The roads are rough. It's slippery out there. Take it slow. Give yourself plenty of time to leave. And for crying out loud, one of our biggest pet peeves on the Morning News Express is put your headlights on. It is a
oh yeah. If you don't, I guess if your car doesn't automatically turn them on, yeah, for sure.
Right, and being in radio, I can't afford the best of the best cars, so I'm still driving my 1980 Oldsmobile, which my grandmother passed down to me, that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. No, I'm kidding. But I do have a 2016 or 2012 Hyundai Sonata, and the lights don't turn on automatically, so I got to remember to do that.
All right, so what else is happening in the not so terrible news?
Getting into the this is not so terrible because 2 suspects were arrested. So that's good news. See, there you go. I'm starting off with
that is good news.
2 suspects were arrested in 2 carjackings in Montgomery County. Montgomery County police have charged an adult and a juvenile in connection with 2 armed carjackings earlier this year in Silver Springs. One took place on Sunday, February 18th at around 10 o'clock p.m. The 500 block of Thayer Avenue. The second occurred in the 8700 block of Cameron Street at around 10:30 p.m. on the same day. When you're out and about driving in your vehicles, be vigilant. Vigilant? Is that a word? How do you say it? Vigilant?
Vigilant.
Vigilant. There you go. This is why I'm unable to get a job as an English teacher in Frederick County Public Schools. So there you go. Another Montgomery County news. 1 vehicle crash Sunday night kills a Gaithersburg woman. A Gaithersburg woman was killed in a 1 vehicle crash last Sunday evening. Montgomery County police say that Sarah, I'm sorry, I got to get the glasses on. Tumo, 20, was heading north in a gray Acura along Shady Grove Road near Burdale Road. And that's, of course, around where the Metro is. in Gaithersburg when, for unknown reasons, she lost control of her vehicle. It went off the roadway, hit a curb, and rolled over on its side before striking a tree. So again, when you're out and about, please be careful. And let's see here. And another news from Montgomery County. All our news today is from Montgomery County, in case you haven't noticed. Gaithersburg, Montgomery County police are investigating another gold bar scam. They've arrested Neil Patel, 23, of Carroll Stream, Illinois, for allegedly targeting elderly individuals. In early March 2024, a victim reported to police that she had been contacted by an individual who claimed to be with the Office of the Inspector General for Federal Trade Commission. That person told the elderly woman that she had been a victim of identity theft, and that led to a federal investigation of money laundering. The victim was told to put all her assets into gold bars, which would be picked by a courier who he said was an FBI agent. The gold bars would taken to the U.S. Department of Treasury for safekeeping. So again, got to be careful out there. There's a lot of scammers out there who want to try to take your money. If you know elderly people out there, mothers, grandparents, just make sure you warn them, make sure you keep them safe. Take a look at weather. Cloudy skies today with periods of rain this afternoon. It's been on and off all morning, the rain, heavy and then not so heavy. High of 82. Take it slow if you're going out and about. Tonight, again, rain this evening with thunderstorms developing overnight. Now, isolated tornadoes are possible. When you hear the word tornadoes, you get worried. I'm just warning you, it is possible. Low near 75. And this whole week, we're supposed to get some rain, depending on what Tropical Storm Debbie wants to do. Take a look at tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms in the morning, then overcast during the afternoon with occasional rain, high near 85. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies, low 66. And you were talking about the Frederick Keys game. Depending on what happens with the weather, I am going to be live at the Keys game on Friday. Again, depending on what the weather looks like, because obviously if it's rain, they're going to get the game will get canceled. And you're talking about tree trekkers. Ashley, I had her on my 4th State Focus show. Doing great work over there for cancer.
It's amazing. It's such a great place to get the kids outside and active. Yes. And have you done the ropes?
Again, Dani, afraid of heights. so you're really trying to bang this in, aren't you? About me? I
think we ought to get you on the ropes. It'll be an immersive therapy session.
Danny, look at these sweet hands. You think I want to get rope burns all over these?
They have gloves. They have gloves for you. It's fine.
No, I haven't done the ropes yet. Actually, it's funny. I was talking with Ashley. She had invited me to come down for that.
Right.
And I'm giving every excuse in the book, like, I think I got something going on. Meanwhile, I don't want to admit to her that I'm scared to death of heights. But hey, why not? I admit it to everybody now. So Ashley, if you're listening, I'm scared to death of heights. If you're
she does watch the show. She is a sponsor, so of course she watches the show.
I'm scared to death of heights. So
I think what we ought to do. I'm going to talk to her. I think there's the kids course. There's like the one for kids under 10. We'll get you onto that and get you started.
Let's let the 6-year-old kids show me up so I can get even more embarrassed.
I tell you, if I can get like 300 likes on this podcast, this stream, then you're going to have to go.
I will do that for you, Dani. If you get 300 likes to the stream, I will definitely do that. And I know if my mother and my wife are watching, they'll put a like on there just to see me embarrass myself.
Oh, don't you worry. I'm going to be putting this episode out on all kinds of social later today.
I have a feeling Bob Miller will not only hit like on yours, but he'll make up a bunch of different Facebook names just so he can keep hitting like to get to 300. So I do embarrass myself. Getting into sports real quick. The Orioles beat the Blue Jays 7-3, and with the Yankees losing to the Angels 8-2, that ties the O's and the Yankees up for the AL East division lead. The O's face the Blue Jays again tonight. First pitch is at 7:07. Nats lose to the Giants. What else is new? 7-4. Nats take on the Giants again today at noon. And unfortunately, the Frederick Keys lose to the Spikes yesterday, 8-6. So there's your sports, local, not so bad news, weather, and everything else that people now know about me. I'm sure they didn't care.
Oh, my goodness. All right. I know you got a lot to do over there, so you have a wonderful Thursday. One more day till it's Friday, which I'm looking forward to.
Me too. Dani, always great to be able to spend time with you. Keep rocking, my friend. You're killing it. I love it.
All right, I'll see you later.
All right.
Oh, goodness, he's so funny. I got to figure out how to do that. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, we'll take a quick break, and then we're back with County Executive Jessica Fitzwater and Kevin from Spark Tax Services, plus Chris Jenkins from the Frederick Flying Cows will be joining us as well, and all of that is coming up just after this.
The Crab Shop is open. Join Habitat for Humanity of Frederick County, Maryland for the 9th annual Blue Crabs and Blueprints celebration on Saturday, August 24th at the Walkersville Carnival Grounds. This family-friendly day includes crabs from JB Seafood, food trucks, live music, and yard games. This fun-filled day supports Habitat's home repair and home build programs, making a difference year-round right here in Frederick County. Crabs must be pre-ordered by August 19th, so don't delay. Get your crabs now for this Maryland-style crab feed.
All-in-One Events is Frederick's #1 source for event rentals and entertainment. Please visit us on the web at www.aioeventgroup.com or call 1-888-727-8902 for more information.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shannon Flannery beyond compare. Good morning.
Oh, not that one. There we go. See, it's Thursday. All right, A&S Construction, a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and it's right here in Frederick. A&S Construction specializes in roofing and siding, but they also do windows and gutters and can take care of a patio and a deck, either fixing one up or creating one where there isn't one right now. You can call A&S Construction at 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. A&S Construction is run by Sandra Hoffmeister. She is a huge part of this Frederick community. She's my chamber ambassador, and she is also part of the Women in Trades, and I love that as well. A&S Construction is where you need to go if you need siding, windows, roofing, patios, or decks. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to move along because I've got, oh boy, wait and see. I think Chris is jumping on at 9:45. So let's go ahead and do what's happening in Frederick. Happening in Frederick is sponsored by Taco Bar. It is Birria Thursday at Taco Bar, which is right over at West Point Plaza on Route 40. Birria is slow-cooked shredded beef, served in a variety of ways. The most common one is on tacos with melted cheese, and it's paired with that beef broth. It's consomme, and it is so great. You dip your birria taco in there, and oh, so delicious. You can do birria tacos, queso birria, pizza birria, torta burrito, and birria fries, plus more. Remember, at Taco Bar, this special is only available on Thursdays because the meat takes so long to cook, they want to make sure it is just perfect. All right, if you want to know what is happening in Frederick, you've got to go to the best calendar in the whole land. It is our Everything Frederick calendar, which you can find at promocircus.com. All right, it is, let me tell you, this town has so many events. So the events you see here, there are also 32 more events today. And, you know, it's so funny. For some reason, everyone is picking a Thursday to do their events. It makes it very difficult for people like me who want to get out and do multiple things. But it is what it is, right? There's always something going on here in this town, though, and that is a good thing. All right. Oh, the home of Everything Frederick is open today and alive at 5. You're going to want to check the forecast, check their social media, and they'll put at noon whether the event is on or not on. Also the same for the Starlight Family Film Festival, which is 7 p.m. at the Natelli Community Center. Okay, so check social media. That is the Starlight Family Film Festival is part of Frederick County Public Libraries. Tomorrow, let's see what is happening. You got the Keys that may be home depending on the weather, and Chris Michaels will be out there for that. And on Saturday, tons of events happening, including the here it is. Let's see. The NWTF Monocacy Valley Chapter Summer Feast. That is a pig roast and crab feast that is happening at the Catoctin Fish and Game Facility on Clark Road in Myersville. You're going to want to grab your tickets to that. And, of course, the Double Dog Dare Rescue is happening at Warman's Mill. That is for mutts and music, which we like. On Sunday, let's see, Newsies at the Other Voices Theater. You can get your tickets for that musical, and you're going to want to check that out. That looks like a really fun show that you can see right on Jefferson Street. And then coming up, of course, next Wednesday is the night market happening at in downtown Frederick, but you're going to want to come to 401 North Market Street. We're going to have some great stuff. Good Morning Frederick is going to give you some Maryland Lottery scratch-offs if you show that you've subscribed to YouTube. That's all you got to do. Or you can choose 2 tickets to the Keys, or I'll also have tickets to Alive at 5. All right, I heard Chris Jenkins just pop in, so we are going to go to that and find out how you as a nonprofit can be involved with getting a donation from the Frederick Flying Cows. Here's Chris. Hey, how are you?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You sound like you just woke up.
No, that's just the morning in general. I've been up for a while, unfortunately.
Very good. Very good. All right. So the Frederick Flying Cows, last year's inaugural season, you guys chose 12 local nonprofits to give back to throughout the year. How much in total did you guys donate last year?
So it was roughly around 13 to 14K. 14,000 over the 12. It actually ended up being 13 nonprofits because we added that extra game in late May.
Right.
So we were to add one more and then the playoffs as well.
Nice.
So yeah.
Very good. Very good. So tell me, first of all, what the, I know the Flying Cows also has a foundation. Tell me the thought process kind of behind getting involved with some of the local nonprofits.
Yeah, so we have the Flying Cows Foundation, whose mission essentially is to give back to Frederick, essentially support the community that we're in ways for just us reach different demographics, different markets that might not love basketball or would just be dying to come to our games. We want to get them there, and then of course sell them on the experience and all the fun going on there. But the main piece is just giving back. That's a huge piece of our organization and our owners' kind of thoughts to bringing this organization to light in general. But yeah, so it's a key piece to us, especially to our game day operations at this point. Just bringing those new fans in, and then as well as our nonprofit partners of each game are bringing a lot of volunteers, are able to help us. They're the people that you get welcome to with scanning your tickets. Smiling face, the first smiling faces you see when you walk in the door. So it was great partnerships with 13 different nonprofits last year, and we're excited to do it again this year.
Yeah. So what is the process? If there's a nonprofit out there watching right now, what do they need to do to be one of the chosen?
Yeah, so we have a application on our website right now. If you go to flyingcows.com/Flying Cows Foundation, I believe, or if you just go to our website, see the community tab, and there's a drop down there. In there, you can see all the information on kind of what the partnership entails, and then there's an application with a Google form that they can fill out. We're accepting applications through the whole month of August, so we opened it up August 1st, and then all the way through August 31st, and then sit down in September. And decide who our 12 are going to be this year, or 13, or we'll see exactly how many games we have. We're expecting 12, but you never know. And then announce that at some point in the fall with one of the upcoming events we have. We're probably going to tie them into one of the events we're doing in the fall to make the full-fledged announcements.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know you guys have a lot of preparations. There's some fun events coming up this fall, and then you guys are really working to get ready for next season, which kicks off in March.
Correct.
Anything that you can tell our audience about what is coming up for the Flying Cows over the next few months?
Yeah, absolutely. So some ones that are public already. One would be any community events you see over the next few months we plan to be at. So in the streets, the Great Frederick Fair, et cetera, et cetera. You can expect to see Milkshake and some great and us at as many as possible. And then actual events we're running October 6th. We're having tryouts. So if anyone has come to one of our games and think they're as good as any of those guys, we'd love to see them out at tryouts. That's October 6th at Hood. And then October 17th is our golf tournament called the Boosters. A little bit of play on the Masters tournament, golf tournament. So we're really excited about that one. Definitely looking to get some golfers in there. So that's also on our website. To anyone, feel free to register solo or as a foursome. And then there is another one coming in November that Dani knows all about that will be public here in the next few weeks. I guess we can tease it with we'll be attempting to break a world record, and more information will be out on that here in the next week or two.
Yeah.
And then there's one more coming that should be announced later in December as well. That'll be really cool with some high school basketball teams. Once they're in their season, that'll be really, really cool.
Yeah, and that's phenomenal. Look, I think I love it. You guys have really come into the market and integrated and just really, I mean, it's kind of hard to, remember a time without the Flying Cows, which I love. And so, yeah, look, so if you're a nonprofit, you're watching out there, head to goflyingcows.com. Look at the application, get yours in. I mean, look, it's a great opportunity not only to get some money in your pocket, but certainly to integrate with the fans from the Flying Cows and get some exposure there. And it's a lot of fun. Chris, we really appreciate your time this morning. And
No problem.
yeah, we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dani.
Of course. All right. Yes, that is fantastic. And look, I think, we awarded most nonprofits somewhere around $800, which is not bad for really not having to do too terribly much, which is fun. And we have a great time at the games. If you have not been to a Flying Cows game, as soon as they announce tickets for sale, you've got to get your tickets. Get the season tickets, and you can give them to clients if you're a local business owner, or take your family. It is so fun for the entire family. All right, we are going to talk about who is making our Frederick market stronger. Our market makers are sponsored by CK Nails, your full service nail and spa salon, offering manicures and pedicures along with facials and waxing, eyelash extensions, and more. Go to cknailsfrederick.com where you can get pricing, book your appointment, and see a full list of services. They are located right on Christopher Crossing, convenient to the Warman's Mill area in 26, as well as, of course, Whittier, Clover Hill, and those neighborhoods. cknailsfrederick.com. All right, Kevin is helping businesses work the tax system in their favor, and he gives me and you the top 3 things businesses should be doing right now to make the tax system work for you. And here is Kevin. Said it time and time again. Doing Good Morning Frederick has allowed me to meet so many wonderful people in Frederick that I did not know before April 1st. And Kevin is one of them. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks, Dani.
You're welcome. So we met in person at a Frederick Lifestyle event. You were featured in the June issue. So you are an accountant. Did you always dream about being an accountant when you were growing up?
No, I dreamed about being a scientist.
Oh, wow. Okay. And what happened there?
Scientists don't get girls, so then I went into drumming, joined a band, did that for 8 years, and then music doesn't pay well, and then got a solid career started or going into school or college around 2009, 2010, and got in accounting, and here we are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think if you're smart, everyone needs an accountant to keep everything straight and to keep up with all the changes that happen. It seems like daily, but that's really cool. So you not only got into accounting, what year did you start Spark Tax Services?
Graduated University of Maryland in 2014. My
Go
degree
Terps!
There you go. There you go. And then went into public accounting straight away. Did my time there 5 years. If anyone knows public accounting, it's a lot of hours, and yeah, it's horrendous. After that, went into private to the healthcare industry, then in the banking industry. Eventually, COVID happened. A lot of people had a lot of realizations about different things, different experiences. One of mine was hurry up and get my CPA. So I studied and was able to get my CPA in March 2021. And that's exactly the same month that I opened up Spark Tax Services.
Oh, wow. So you were hedging your bets there. No, you knew you were going to do well, I think.
Yeah. So
Very
over time,
good.
yeah, grew it organically, and now we're here. So it's been a blessing.
Nice. You're on Buckystown Pike, you said. And so do you specialize in any particular clients, or you're happy to take corporate, personal? Is there anyone you prefer?
Yeah, so our approach is completely different from others. So overall, we're a virtual firm. We work with we work with 49 states except Hawaii, just because
Okay.
you have to have boots on the ground in Hawaii.
Ah,
But besides that, we work in 49 states. We're a virtual firm, and we offer not only tax preparation, what everyone's accustomed to doing once a year, but we also offer tax planning and advisory, which is
nice.
really a more proactive and relationship-based type of service.
Yes, I appreciate that because we had an accountant for a while who really, submitted our quarterly. My husband is an entrepreneur as well, self-employed, so submitted our quarterly stuff and all that good stuff, but didn't help us to plan for things that were coming. And so we would get surprises throughout the year, which is not fun at all. That can really make a huge difference to a small business for sure. But even on a personal level, like it's just, hey, you got a $12,000 tax bill. And it's like, well, okay, what are we going to do? If you could give people kind of like 3 tips right now, since, we're midway through the year, a little bit more, 3 tips for them in kind of, preparing for the end of the year or tax advice, and not really financial, obviously, but what would you tell people they should be doing right now?
Oh man, there's so much. Uh, well, number one, we'll say is, do you have the right entity structure in place? So a lot of the times, and it could be for various types of reasons, right? You have the legal component and you have the tax component, and sometimes they work hand in hand. But overall, do you have the right entity structure in place that's being efficiently and optimized for tax purposes? So a lot of the times, people create LLCs out of nowhere, or they don't have any entity structure at all, legal entity structure at all set up. And they expect to somewhat save in taxes somehow by creating these types of entities. But it's really meeting with your tax advisor to make sure you're in the correct entity, and whether all the strategies are being implemented to optimize from the tax saving perspective. The number one entity structure that I would say you would save in taxes is the S Corp.
Yes.
I would say 9 out of 10 times, small business owners that are usually making over $50,000 in profit should be looking at implementing an S Corp. You'll save a lot in self-employment taxes, and it'll give you open doors to other strategies that you can even create that tax savings even larger.
Love it. That's a great one.
Let's see. Number 2, I would say, is proactively meeting with your tax advisor. So for our advisory clients, we meet with them on a quarterly basis and some on a monthly basis.
Wow, that's
And the
great.
and the reason why you want to have that proactive conversation is because, especially if you're a small business owner, business goes like this, right? I mean, we're 2024, we're in election year, the economy is everywhere, inflation, you hear about this, that, and the other. They're talking about unemployment increasing. So what are you doing to not only save in taxes, but also like wealth protection standpoint as well? So having that proactive conversation on a periodic basis with your tax advisor is huge. I would recommend at least quarterly basis, and depending on the activity in your business, meeting on a monthly basis may be best. So having that conversation, that proactive conversation with your tax advisor, not only your tax advisor, but your legal team, your financial advisor. You want to really create a team around you, especially as a business grows from a small business perspective, to make sure you have the right team in your corner, and whatever comes thrown your way, you can kind of avenue and navigate the complex world of the business owner lifestyle.
Yes, I love that too, because there's nothing worse than if you're only meeting once a year, maybe even twice a year. So much can change in that time period as a small business. And yeah, you gotta, utilize your financial people kind of almost as a therapist. So they know what's coming and they know what you're planning and can kind of guide you to make sure you're getting the best benefit. Because to be honest, your accountant, your lawyer, they're working for you. You might as well have them, earn their keep, so to say. But okay. And do you have a third?
I would say the third one is to keep an open mind. A lot of the times, the strategies that we recommend, some people are very conservative. What we like to do is not only recommend strategies, but we also have the IRS code and resources in our back pocket to support everything. So we like to say it's our strategies are core tested and IRS approved, because it's all about reading the IRS code and finding those loopholes essentially, and then having case law, tax law, to back up these strategies and make sure you're actually implementing them. It's one thing knowing the strategy, and there's another thing implementing the strategy.
Yes.
I can
Very
create
good.
a tax plan report, give it to you step by step on how to implement each strategy. And a lot of people just take that and run.
Yeah.
And then they meet with me the next year like, hey, why didn't I save anything in taxes? It's because you didn't do the implementing part. And that's where our advisory program comes into play. So really is focusing on that implementation piece and make sure you're on top of it, which a tax advisor can happily guide you through and make sure for compliance purposes, everything's up to speed. So you can actually benefit from those tax savings and reap from those rewards.
Well, that's awesome, because then you're really a partner in this whole thing, right? And to get instructions from somebody and to walk away and not kind of have that either gentle reminder, hey, did you do this? Did you set this up? Have you implemented these things we talked about? Some of us sometimes need that little nudge to get moving, but ultimately it's to help the business owner save money, not, or set themselves up for success. So that's really cool. I like that partnership mentality. You have the capability to take on additional clients at this time?
Great question. So right now we're on a wait list.
Okay.
And then every 2 months or so, we usually go to the people who are on the wait list, and we, start contacting them to see if they're interested, set up calls, etc. But ideally, we're going to slowly shift over to an application process, and we'd like to call it the spark difference. So submit an application, we review it, and then we set up a discovery call. And then at that point, we determine what services do you need, and can we help you?
Right.
We can't help everybody.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
if you're just new to the game, or if you have no tax liability, there's really no value that we can bring to the table. We found that, service-based business owners that have huge tax liability bills, like usually more than $30,000-$40,000, is where we can help you the best.
Gotcha. Right. Because then you're going to start to look for those solutions to help bring that down as much as possible, or ways to set things up to help. That's really, really interesting. And look, I mean, hey, when you're good at what you do, a wait list makes perfect sense. Everyone out there watching, hang tight, and we'll let you know when he's available for you to submit your application. Spark Tax Services. So you are a dad. How many kids you have? You have two?
I have two boys. Yeah.
Two boys.
8-year-old
How old are
and
they?
he's one just turned 8. The other one's a year and a half.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Awesome. Well, look, I think, you're a great part of the Frederick community. We like that you are helping small business and keeping them strong and making sure they continue on to, help our economy. We know small business is what this country is made of. So we appreciate people like you that are helping our small business owners. And we really appreciate the time you've taken today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dani.
All right. Want to thank Kevin, and really great advice. Look, you got to work closely with your tax people, your lawyers, attorneys, or whatever you have. If you have a small business, just to keep yourself protected. It's all about helping yourself out. All right. We're going to take in a quick break, and then we're back with County Executive Jessica Fitzwater. And I think you're really going to enjoy the conversation that I had with her. That is all coming up right after this.
The Crab Shop is open. Join Habitat for Humanity of Frederick County, Maryland for the 9th annual Blue Crabs and Blueprints celebration on Saturday, August 24th at the Walkersville Carnival Grounds. This family-friendly day includes crabs from JB Seafood, food trucks, live music, and yard games. This fun-filled day supports Habitat's home repair and home build programs, making a difference year-round right here in Frederick County. Crabs must be pre-ordered by August 19th, so don't delay. Get your crabs now for this Maryland-style crab feed.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come sling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art Splatter Room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
Yes. And don't forget to use those promo codes. GMF at Tree Trekkers saves you 10%, which I know is not a lot, but it's something. Save you some money. All right, let's talk about People of Frederick. People of Frederick is sponsored today by Candles by B&L, specializing in handcrafted soy wax scented candles. They use the finest ingredients, and these candles are beautiful and free from harmful chemicals. Candles by B&L is woman, minority, and veteran owned. At Candles by B&L, their goal is to light up your mood one candle at a time, and we've got some gorgeous candle bouquets available at the Home of Everything Frederick. You can stop by and get them Thursdays to Sundays. So today, head on over to the Home of Everything Frederick, or look them up, candlesbybnl.com. You can order online and they will ship directly to you, or you can pick it up. All right, Jessica Fitzwater started out as a teacher and quickly saw that by being involved, she could make an impact on her students and community. And boy, she hasn't stopped. She strives to make an impact every single step of the way. I sat down with her to find out what got her here. Here is Jessica Fitzwater. I am with County Executive Fitzwater, Miss Jessica here, and I appreciate the time today. We're Rotarians at Key City together, and I'm really trying to get around to as many Rotarians as possible, because I really think it's really nice to have a deeper understanding of kind of what got you here. And that's kind of the purpose of this. So what got you here?
Well, first of all, thank you for thinking of me for this.
course.
I've been so impressed by all your other guests, and I think it's just a really neat way for people to get to know members of the community. So thank you.
Oh, of course.
I say I probably had a different sort of path to elected office. I don't come from a political family.
I was going to
wasn't-
ask
no,
how you got here.
Yeah, no,
so
I don't
in
come
that
from
way.
a political
Yeah.
family. I mean, what I will say, my family clearly really valued community service and public service. My
Yeah.
parents were both very involved in our community. I grew up in Smithsburg, so in Washington County. I tell people on Wolfsville Road, just over the mountain, but the Washington County
Right.
side of Wolfsville Road.
Yeah.
But always very active in our community and really modeled that for my sister and I. And my mom was an educator, a lifelong educator. My dad worked for a small company in Hagerstown for many years. And he now works at the Weinberg Center and at the Delaplane. So lots of people see him at the box office or the front desk there
Yeah.
in the community here.
How fun.
But I really got involved because I just care about my community, wherever that might be, whether it was when I was growing up back home in Smithsburg, when I was in college at St. Mary's College of Maryland, I got very active in the campus community and in student government. And then when I moved to Frederick as a brand new first-year teacher, like a lot of new teachers, I kind of had you have your blinders on and you're really focused on surviving that first year.
Yeah.
But I learned really quickly that being an educator is being a member of a very highly politicized profession.
It is.
You know, everything about public education is decided by an elected leader at some level, whether it's your local board of education all the way up to the federal government. And most of them haven't been in a classroom since they were a student. And I found that, you know, starting to learn more about who the decision makers are, who's deciding things, everything from the physical buildings to how many resources are going to our schools, curriculum and training and educator pay, and so for what's happening for our support staff, was all being decided by elected officials. And so I started to go to Board of Education and County Commissioner meetings. I started to go down to Annapolis to lobby our legislators for better
Wow.
school
Yeah.
funding and
Yeah.
school policy issues. I got very active in the Frederick County Teachers Association as a building rep for my school, Oakdale Elementary, and then on the board of directors there, and got very involved in the Maryland State Education Association and the National Education
Wow.
Association. And so that's really what did it for me. I realized that in order to really be a strong advocate for my students and my school, I needed to show up. I needed to talk about the impacts of these types of decisions on our students. I ran for the county council in 2014, was so honored to be elected into that first county council, ran for re-election in 2018, so I was able to serve for 8 years on the council, and then ran for county executive in 2022 on making sure that we can keep moving things forward for Frederick.
That's pretty good, 3 for 3. I mean, you can't complain about that. But, you know, it really is true. You can't keep complaining about something and not trying to do something about it. Kudos to you for really stepping really into the fire, though.
Yes. Anyone who followed the last campaign knows
Yeah.
that was definitely part of it.
And I hate that about politics. Good people won't keep running. You know, it's really going to keep some really good people, I think, out of making some great changes for the community. So, yeah, I hate that. I hate that for every single one of you. But I'm glad you guys are doing it and not me, because I don't think I'd be very good. I'd be crying every night. Your passion around education and the arts, I think, is clear in a lot of the stuff that you do. So you were a dancer.
Yeah, so we're talking about that. I danced all through school and college, and when I got to Frederick, right out of college, I was looking to get involved in the arts, and there is an adult modern dance company called Equinox Dance Company. We were just talking about Kim with Sass Magazine. That's how I know her.
Yeah.
And so I danced for many years with them. I also play the violin, and I played with the Frederick Symphony Orchestra for over a dozen years, served on their board of directors for a while.
Wow.
Things like having children and, you know, running for
all
high
of us,
office
yeah.
does change some of that, but I still play and would do a lot of music with my kids. When I taught music at Oakdale Elementary, I taught there for 17 years. I had a chorus before school and also started a dance club there to just have the students have some additional arts opportunities outside of the music classroom.
Yeah.
I actually really think if more people were involved in the arts and not just being a patron of the arts, but actually expressing themselves through art. It's such a connector. It's really the universal language. I mean, you can get together with people who you've never met, who you maybe don't even speak the same language as them. You can make music together, you can dance together. It's just, it's healing, and it really is, it's like an equalizer, and it can really bring people together. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be a music teacher. But also, especially the performing arts, you have to listen to people. I mean, if you're in an orchestra or a band or any kind of performing ensemble, it is never just about you. It doesn't matter if you're not listening to the people around you. Voices aren't blending together, you're not able to be flexible and respond to what's happening around you. And I think that is what makes a good leader as well. I found that I learn so much in this job every day, but a lot of it is by listening to others. Anybody who tries to say they go into a position, most elected offices, but especially something like an executive position that's overseeing all of these myriad of functions in county government, no one running for a job like this knows everything about every single one of those things. And so you have to be willing to learn, you have to be willing to listen, you have to build a team of folks that are those experts and that are going to ask good questions and challenge you. And so having that kind of skill of listening that you build as a musician, but also as an educator, I think that has been so valuable to me in this role.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you don't look old enough to have been teaching for 17 years. You've been on the council for 8. County executive now.
Well, I did. So our county council is part-time. So I was teaching and on the council at the same time.
Okay,
But
gotcha. I was going to say, can't add all of those together.
I proudly just celebrated my 40th birthday in December.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations. You're still way behind, but it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. You're doing great things in the 40 short years. So that's amazing. Is there anything that you're just like so super proud of? Or is it just kind of, you feel that way kind of almost daily?
Well, I would say both. You set me up really well for that because, look, Frederick County is the best county in the state of Maryland, in my opinion. I mean, I'm clearly a little biased, but no, I tell people all the time that we really have it all, and I think it's a combination of we're the largest landmass county in the state, which means we get to have our incredible natural resources. We have national and state parks here. We have our natural, we have the Monocacy River, and we have the mountains. We have all these beautiful things in nature. We have our ag land, our agritourism that folks can get out and really get out on our farms. But we also are home to the second biggest municipality in the entire state. We have this booming, thriving downtown in the city of Frederick, and all of our incredible historic municipalities with their own culture and history. We're bringing new businesses and seeing businesses expand in innovative industries like life sciences and biotech. So we really have the opportunity to kind of maintain that for our community and to continue to expand. And I think that's wonderful. But we also have our people. And I've had the opportunity to talk about this many times, whether it is through Rotary, working with the chamber with different things, seeing how our nonprofit sector works with the private sector, works with our philanthropic organizations. Folks in Frederick want to use their time and their talent and their treasure to come together on issues that are facing the community, to think outside the box for solutions, and to roll up their sleeves and actually do the work, not just, throw out the idea and walk away. And it's not like that everywhere. I mean, I even feel with the county government, we have really strong partnerships with our school system, with our municipalities, with our private and public partners. And that's how we can get things done. So I get to brag about that wherever I go. And so that's one of my favorite parts of my job. But it's also critically important because Frederick County deserves its fair share of state investment and federal investment. And so the more that I, myself, our county council members and other leaders in the community can really tell Frederick County's story and make that case for investment, that's only going to do good for us for years and years to come. And so it's such an important but also very enjoyable part of my job that I'm very honored to get to do. In terms of other things I'm proud of, honestly, I said from day one that accountability, inclusion, and sustainability were going to be my core values, and not using those as buzzwords, but really entrenching all of our decisions and our processes, rooting them in those core values. With accountability, I set off on my administration with a huge transition team of over 120 members of the community, asking people who'd never really been brought to the table before to pitch in and really think big and bold about what we should be focusing on and what they see for the future of Frederick. We held a reconvening of the transition team in April to get their feedback. We have a dashboard on the website for people to look at to see what kind of progress we've made. So making sure that we're including folks, many different folks, geographic diversity, ethnic diversity, different professional backgrounds, different ages, in work groups like that, in our boards and commissions. That's really important to me. And also making sure internally that we're an employer of choice, that people want to come work here and they see a future for themselves in Frederick County government. We're working on all of those fronts, continuing to build partnerships. We've been able to make announcements like launching the first ever Office of Agriculture. We got to cut the ribbon on the brand new Middletown Library, and soon we'll be cutting the ribbon on a new active adult center in Middletown, which we're excited about. We've purchased property for new school sites to try to deal with the overcrowding situation. So we're just always thinking strategically, trying to put our heads together and continue to work with our partners to get things done.
Yeah, I mean, super smart to utilize all these people in the community to kind of help funnel these things to you. I think you're just really opening yourself up to a lot of great opportunity to impact a greater majority of the county. So, I mean, I think that's wonderful, and it's excellent and super smart. She's super smart, super smart.
Well, I will say, when you open yourself up to ask for feedback and input, you do open yourself up to criticism sometimes, right?
It's funny, I've just asked for, I've told everybody I'm doing my 100 show survey, and I said, you can be critiquing. I'm fine with taking the criticism. I'm not going to take it personal, but I know it's just an effort to get better. So sometimes you do have to be willing to look from other people's perspective, and when you do that in a non-emotional way and kind of hear what people are saying, you're really listening and you're like, okay, yeah, I mean, I can actually see how what I'm doing here is affecting that or whatever. So
yeah, no, it's hugely helpful.
Can't please everybody though, as you know. you try to do your best, as we all do. But I do love this town. Is there anything kind of out there that's just kind of that pinboard thing that you're like, gosh, I'd really love to accomplish this, and then I'll kind of feel like I've wrapped it all up? Or do you feel like, hey, there's more, there's really more, and maybe there's something at the state level, or maybe there's something larger?
So it's so interesting. It's a question I would say I probably do get asked often, but so much of the work that, if you're really doing county government work well, so much of it is long-term. And if you think about it, that doesn't always fit well with being like an elected official, and you have to, win your job again, right? You have usually
this is 10 years out. This is 12 years out. Yeah.
Usually 4 years, and you're asking the voters whether they're going to, they're going to hire you again for this job. And there are certainly things that we've been able to show that we have been able to accomplish quickly. Like I said, I think investing in infrastructure in places that it matters. Also investing in the community. I mean, really doing a lot of data-driven work. Our partnership with, the health department and Frederick Health Hospital, with what we're doing with the Family Connects program, with home visits for new moms, what we're doing with our Black maternal and child health work, what we're doing with our Division of Family Services and Workforce Services on our child care market study, really looking at local data, local needs, and talking to our community members who are impacted by some of these different, whether it's disparate health outcomes, whether it's lack of access to affordable or quality childcare. So we're doing that kind of work that really does impact the community. But a lot of what the county does is also long-range planning. It's land use. It's how are we going to preserve more ag land? How are we going to preserve our natural resources and protect the environment and prepare for better climate resiliency? How are we going to build where we should build and make sure we have enough commercial land for the businesses that want to come here, and enough homes for the people that want to live here? So that type of work is long-term. An example is this year we passed the South Frederick Corridors Plan, which is one of our parts of Livable Frederick, our long-range plan. That is the 85-355 area that's really ripe for redevelopment, making it more walkable, making there be housing where there's employment, having better connection to the MARC train there and to our bus routes and to the Ballinger Creek Trail for people that want to bike. That's going to be an incredible part of the county. And we're not really going to see it for quite a few years. And so some of those types of long-range planning, it's you're doing the work now that's going to have the impact later, even if you're not necessarily the one in the seat when those things are happening. But that is just the nature of the job.
Yeah, it is absolutely. Well, I do love how accessible you are. I love that you're in the community a lot. I don't feel like you kind of hold yourself up and shut the door and wait for the call or email or whatever. So I think that that's great because you truly are a part of the community and you see and experience and hear what people are dealing with every day. So I think that that's appreciated not only by me, but I'm sure the rest of the county as well. And, we look forward to these next couple of years and hopefully maybe 4 years beyond that for you to continue to do what you've set out to do. I think they're great goals. And again, I think you've surrounded yourself with some great people to help get that done.
Well,
Is there
thank you.
anything else you would love to tell the Good Morning Frederick viewers?
I would just say that I already said how amazing our community is.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm always very aware of is it is easy when you have, either been in a leadership position for a while, you've been in a community for a while, you start to build your network. It's really easy to kind of always rely on those same folks. And I'm very cognizant of that, of really always wanting to make sure that, have I thought about it from this other perspective? Is there either a person or, a group from a certain professional background or a part of the county where maybe I haven't heard enough from? And what can I do to be more intentional about that? And that's something that I'm always striving for. And we're trying to do that, both internally with how we're doing our hiring practices and how we're posting our jobs to get more diverse candidates to apply for positions in Frederick County, but also with our boards and commissions. And so what I'll say for folks who are watching who are like, maybe I want to learn a little bit more or get a little bit more involved, we have community-driven boards, commissions, or councils on many, many different topics. So we have a commission for women. We have a commission on disabilities. We have our Human Relations Commission that focuses on human rights and anti-discrimination. We also have our Agricultural Business Council, our Agricultural Preservation Board. We have our Plumbing Board. We have folks that are advocating for folks with disabilities, all sorts of different focus areas that help to bring voices from the community in a more formal way into county government. So these boards and commissions can make comment on legislation. They can write letters advocating for certain policy to the county executive or the council. Sometimes they're out in the community doing education and outreach. But we're always looking for new people to step up because that's going to just enrich the type of input and feedback that we get. And it also is a great way for you to just kind of dip your toe into government a little bit, but like you're not running for something. You just put in your letter of interest and resume and it's an appointment.
Yeah.
So I always like to just
the
share
way to
that.
suck you in, though. I'm just kidding. No, it's really great. Look, it keeps things fresh.
Yeah.
It keeps perspectives fresh. And again, if people are out there thinking, oh, I really wish they would do this, well, instead of they, how about we?
Yes,
and,
yes.
Shifting people's perspective.
Sometimes an issue, a very real issue that they might have, our job might be to connect them to the decision maker.
Right.
Sometimes it's an issue on a road, but it's a state road, or it's an issue, but it's actually in a municipality and it's actually the city or the town's responsibility, but we are there to connect. And that way we can also help people understand, okay, well, I'm voting for all these people at all these different levels of government, who is really doing what, and how can I be an effective advocate? How can I engage? So always encourage people to get involved, or just look at the agendas of upcoming meetings and see if there's something that you really care about. Our county council has public comment at almost all their meetings, and it's a great opportunity to also just share your thoughts with some of your elected officials.
Yeah,
So
I love it. Well, we appreciate her time. County Executive Jessica Fitzwater, I really appreciate you taking the time. Really honored that you would sit down with me, and we will see you guys next time. All right, how amazing. Look, I think no matter your political affiliation, she's a great person and trying to do good stuff for our community. Okay, coming up tomorrow, I chat with the new general manager of Hollywood Casino at Charlestown. Karen Wolcott from Relay for Life of Frederick County joins me to talk about climbing for a cause. And I chat with Key City Rotary President and all-around amazing person, Ashley Goldsboro. Speaking of Key City Rotary, our meeting is today. It is the second and fourth Thursdays of every month. If you'd ever like to join, just send me a message. You can come as my guest. And a reminder, fill out the 100 Show survey. You can find it at Good Morning Frederick on Facebook. Smash that like button. I'm telling you, if we get 300 likes on this stream, wherever you're watching it, I'll total them all up just to prove a point. We'll get Chris Michaels at Tree Trekkers, and that will be a lot of fun. Today, tell a friend about Good Morning Frederick. Have an amazing day. Get out there and be great, Frederick.
From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view. There's something special here, you feel it. Good morning, Frederick. Rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view. There's something special here, you feel it too. Your whole day